Cheta. His nature is consciousness. Consciousness. Not chitta, but cheta. Kevalo nirgunascha. He is alone and singular. Kevala nirgunascha. He is devoid of all qualities and properties. So whenever you think of God, you should understand that it is not a personal one. It is not a visible one. It is not a sensory one. It is something far subtler than the visible world. Ego devaha sarva bhuteshu gudha sarvavyapi sarva bhuta antaratma karmadhyaksha sarva bhutadhivasaha sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. I don't know whether you understand the message. Here is another statement. Understanding that God is present everywhere, He is also present inwardly as your very self. You denote by the term I. You tell me, if necessary, closing your eyes, what is the right method of worshipping such a God? Is it through protracted rituals, ceremonies, using a lot of materials, a jumbo puja? Is it by that? You are worshipping the Supreme Lord, the omnipresent Lord, who is present in every part of your body, in the tip of the nail, the hair. Every part, every atom, every molecule of your body. In the mind, in the thought, in the thinker, in the thinking substance. In every little vibration, movement, He is present. Such an omnipresent Lord, can you worship Him specifically with a ceremony or a ritual? No, no, no. What is the approach to Him? See what Kathopanishad says. Nityo anityanam chetanaha chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tama atmastham yenu pashyamdi dhiraha tesham shantihi shashwati netaresham. How you have to approach this supreme presence, omnipresent God? Nityo anityanam. Understand, as you are interacting this world, you are perceiving this world, every perceived phenomena in the world, every perceived phenomena or phenomenon in this world is fleeting, perishing, perishable. What is not perishable in this world? The earth is perishable. The sun is going to become cold after n number of years. Every day, countless number of cells are getting destroyed for you to remain active. And equally so parallelly, particularly during the hours of sleep and darkness, they are replenished, fresh cells are getting generated. So in the body, constant change. Mind, changeful always. Intelligence also changes. There are fluctuations in the ego also. So in the external world, as well as in your own personality, you will find only fleetingness, evanescence, impermanence there. No, in all these changeful phenomena you will find Nityaha. There is one changeless. Changeless. What is that? Where can you locate it? You cannot easily locate it in the inert substances, inert and insentient substances in the world. Even in the earth you cannot locate it. In the water and air it is not visible. But when you look into a living creature, even a living plant or a vegetable kingdom, there you will find Chetanaha, Chetananam. My dear viewers, are you following me, hearing me, understanding me? The omnipresent God, understand that He is omnipresent. He is the one which is changeless. Where can you have a touch or a feel of Him? Not in the immobile or insentient presences, but in the living ones. Where from the living starts? First of all, it is plant. Thereafter, it is animal, bird, reptile, or water animals. So, right from the plants, you will find Chetanaha, Chetanana. There are so many things which are sentient, chetanas. In all the sentient things, you can locate them as dissentience. Dissentience. The chetanaha. Chetananam. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. It is that remaining single. Bahunam kaman yaha vidadhati. It gives rise to a number of desires. Following the desires, a variety of activities, ultimately fulfilling all of them. Remaining single, alone, inwardly, in all beings. It gives rise to a number of desires, infinite desires, and fulfills all of them. Now, where is the focus or locus to approach him? Tam atmastham. You have to see him, approach him within your own body. Atmastham. He is seated in oneself. Ye anupashyanti dhiraha. Ye dhiraha tam atmastham anupashyanti. Those wise people with discrimination, who can differentiate between matters, go into the potential, the possibility of everything. Try to reason out, apply their intelligence, make proper enquiries, set and formulate right questions and try to chase them. Ye anupashyamti dhiraha. Those wise people, helped by their wisdom and discrimination, are able to see the Supreme Presence as seated in their own heart. Tam atmastham yenupashyamti dhiraha tesham shantihi. For them alone is peacefulness, quietude, quiet. Shashwati netaresham. What kind of a quietude? Shashwati, everlasting. Suppose somebody gets married, they are a couple. They are. In the course of the first year or second year, the lady became pregnant. They are very much expectant now. They like to have a child, particularly a male child. She delivered and it was a male child. They have a lot of satisfaction and joy. They are also peaceful. But that peace is not everlasting. If the born child becomes sick, in the second or third month, all the peace is disturbed. So this kind of an object satisfaction will not give you peace. Shashwati shanti, perpetual or everlasting peace. Netaresham, not for the others. Now, this is a very important declaration of Kathopanishad. That means Vedic declaration at the end of the Vedas. Now, what is the method of worshipping the Supreme Presence? Is it only through rituals and ritualistic exercises? No. 1,000,000 times. The approach is really inward and it is to your own self, the Antaratma in you. That is why we say devotion is the right means. Dispassion is the corollary of it. Nityo anityanam chetanaschethananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tama atmastham yenupashyanti dhiraha tesham shantihi shashwati netaresham. For them alone, perpetual shanti, peacefulness will be there. Now you tell me, compare this inward approach. What is this inward approach? This has to be repeatedly heard Shravana and repeatedly ruminated over Manana and finally meditated upon, contemplated upon Nididhyasa. These are the real Vedantic methods for realizing the truth, for approaching God. Compared to this, what are these rituals and ritualists? Just imagine. Sreemad Bhagavatam itself has to say, this is from 7th skandha, in the words of Prahlada. Tushte cha tatra kimalabhya ananta adye kim tair guna vyadhigaradiha ye swasiddha dharmadaya kima gunena cha kankshitena saranjusham charanayoho upagayatam naha. Actually, this is such a beautiful verse. I sometimes wonder, the Sreemad Bhagavata scholars will have to reflect upon and understand the meaning. The ordinary listeners perhaps may not be able to grasp it so well. Tushte cha tatra kim alabhya ananta adye. What a wonderful statement this boy is saying. 7-year-old boy. Anante adye tatra tushte. Anante, the infinite. Adye, the most primordial. When the Supreme Lord, who is infinite in nature and who is before and who precedes the whole creation, when that supreme, beginningless and primordial Lord, Tushte, is contented, is pleased. Kim alabhyamananta adye. Kim alabhyamananta ananta adye. What is there? Alabhya, unattainable. All that you have to do is propitiate that Lord. Make Him happy. Let Him be pleased. Don't try to please any subsidiary deities. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, etc. If at all you do a worship, that worship should be addressed to the Supreme Lord. And that Lord should be pleased. Suppose He is pleased. Tushte cha tatra kim alabhyamananta adye kim tair guna vyatikaradiha ye swasiddhaha. If you look into life and understand it well, you are born in a certain family. You have no independence. You are just born. You have not selected your parents. When you open your eyes, you find you are in a family. And two people are there who say, you are my child, my child. So the parents own you. You only know that ownership. And whatever resources, whatever education, whatever knowledge, whatever experience, whatever wishes and will they have, you are being nursed by them. And you grow. As is the body a derivative from your parents, you will find the mind intelligence also, they have got a hereditary factor. Whatever you learn with such a mind, inherited intelligence. So everything in your life appears to be a natural outcome of a certain process. So the dharma, artha, kama and moksha, the papa and the punya, and so many other facilities, fortunes, misfortunes and the like, all of them are in the very nature of nature. If you understand properly, you don't have to struggle for anything. Everything will get unfolded. I always write a sentence and also speak about it. Everything in one's life is an unfoldment. Nothing is an achievement. Everything is an unfoldment. See, I was born in a family. When I start looking into myself, I am already the son of my parents. Being the last born, I had brothers and sisters. I was admitted to school. The education progressed in its own manner, one after the other. Then I was taken to Calcutta. There I happened to meet my Guru. I was very fond of him when I saw him. Then I sought Diksha from him, initiation from him. Then I started meditating and contemplating with a resolve that I would not read the Shastras. Everything is to be experienced, so I refused to read. I asked my Gurudev, is it necessary to read? I don't like to read. Don't worry about it. If at all you have to read, the book that is necessary will come in search of you, he said. After about 1.5 years or so, I don't clearly remember, Mundaka Upanishad came to my table. I opened it and started reading. From that day onwards, Vedantic unfoldment and Vedantic enlightenment started gracing me. In all these things, if you ask me, I have not done any particular struggle, so to say. Spiritual life has been a very pleasant, easy, natural, endearing and fulfilling one for me. So everything in life is an unfoldment. Swasiddhaha, he says. Now, I have to explain it in greater detail. You may not easily understand it. See, where you are born, what you will do, how you will have, what, when, where, all these things are an unfoldment, so to say. We are men. We are also women. Because we are divided into men and women, the question of a boy and a girl marrying each other arises. Suppose only men population was there, what would happen? So everything is provided by nature, arranged by nature. It's only unfolding as days, weeks, fortnights, months, years and decades pass. Swasiddha dharmadayah kim agulena cha kankshidena. When the Supreme Lord is pleased, you don't have to even look for liberation. You don't have to even transcend the gunas. It is not necessary at all. Dharmadayah kim agulena cha kankshidena saranjusham charanayoru bhagayatam naha. Those people, devotees, who are given to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, they start singing the praises of the Lord. They like to look at His feet, rest on them. Such people who are addicted to the lotus feet of the Lord through devotion, for them nothing is necessary. Saranjusham. They always will be enjoying the nectar of the devotion. Nothing else is required. So he says, Tushte cha tatra kimalabhyamananta adye kim tair gunavyadhikaradiha yesvasiddhaha. Everything in this world is a progression and an outcome of sattva, rajas and tamas, the three gunas. These are the constituents of prakriti. You have nothing to do with them. You are a guna combination and a guna product. The surrounding nature is also a much bigger guna combination. And there is an interaction between the two. The guna small combination interacting with the bigger combination. Everything is taking place according to physics laws, chemistry laws, biophysical, biochemical, biological. All these laws and processes are wrong. Nothing is created by you. So leave life to itself. Like a river flowing from the mountain and ultimately reaching the sea and stopping, your life also has begun to flow from the birth, and it will continue to flow until the body falls. Remain relaxed. Rest on the supreme feet, the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Be carefree, be concern free, and start enjoying uninterruptedly the nectar arising from the lotus feet of the Lord. Nothing else is required. Tushte cha tatra kimalabhyam ananta adye kim tair gunavyadhikaradiha yesvasiddhaha dharmadayah kim agulena cha kankshidena saranjusham charanayoh upagayatam naha. We are discussing about how the ritualistic adherence makes the votaries of Vedas even, in spite of their knowledge, good birth and otherwise, blinds them. Now, what is the right method of approach then? What is the right approach? After all, we have to please the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is only one. He is present everywhere, equally present in you. So the best approach will be towards your own self. And how can you do about it? Sreemad Bhagavatam itself tells us. This is from the earlier conversation of the yogis. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakritehe svabhavat karoti yadyad sagalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayetad. So the right approach will be this. What? Wholesome devotion. Consistent devotion. Devotion in and through everything that you do, inwardly or outwardly. Through the senses, visible senses, through the mouth, through the mind, through the intelligence, through the ego. whatever activity you are performing, pursuit that you have taken up, through every one of it, bit and piece of it, you worship the Supreme Lord. Kayena vacha manasa indriyaihi va. Kayena. Kaya means the body. With the body. Vacha, by virtue of your tongue, mouth, speech. Manasa, with the mind. Indriyaihi va, with the senses, through the senses. Buddhya, with the intelligence. Atmana va. Beyond this, there is an identity for you called the self-I. Let it be that. Prakrite swabhavat. After all these are evolutes of Prakriti. You have not manufactured your eyes, nor have your parents done it. It is all evolved by nature. So we see with the power of the eyes, and the power does not depend upon us. We only employ the eyes. So everything is activated truly by Prakriti. In the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna clearly says what? Nahi kaschikshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma kridu karyade hyavashat karma sarvaha prakriti jayir gunaihi. Any creature cannot keep quiet, absolutely quiet, even for a second. All beings are kept active by the gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas of Prakriti. So to be active or not to be active, we have no option at all. Activity is preserved, maintained and provided for by nature. Prakritehe swabhavat. We are a human being by virtue of our birth. We have got a certain tone of voice, a certain look of our body. The physiognomical features are bestowed upon us by nature. Similarly, the mental tendencies also are to a very large extent inherited. Thereafter you acquire them. That acquisition is also conditioned by circumstances, environments, parental and other elderly guardianship factors. Kayena vacha manasendriyirva buddhya atmanava anusruta swabhavat prakrite swabhavat. By virtue of the swabhava, the tendency that you have by virtue of nature, it's all nature born. Karodi yadyad. Karodi yadyad. Whatever you do means what? Anything that comes to be done, that chances to be done, either by your hands or by your feet or other senses or by the mouth or by the intelligence, mind, ego. Whatever may be the agent or instrument of action, and whatever may be the field of activity, and whatever may be the kind and quality of the action, whatever is being done, sakalam, all that without exception, parasmai narayanayeti samarpayetad. All that activity, action, interaction, their outcome, everything, you give it as a full offer without exception. In the activities of yours, no exception should be there. Getting up early in the morning, going to the toilet, washing your teeth, sipping coffee or tea, reading the newspaper, having your bath, going to the office, working there, coming back, doing everything that you do without any exception. Normally when you worship or even in a sacrifice, a ritualistic ceremony, what is a ritualistic ceremony? Not what the Yajamana does at other times. He specifies a day for performing yaga. An altar is prepared, priests are coming, and with the guidance of the priest, the Yajamana performs a certain act using a certain selected number of materials, chanting specific mantras. This alone becomes a worship. What about the rest of the activity of the Yajamana? That is not a worship. If this is worship, all the others are non-worship. So one day of yaga in your life makes all other days of your life bhoga, not yaga. Now here it is not so. Karoti yadyat sakalam parasmai. Whatever you do, everything in toto, in totality, you make it a full and a continuous offer to the Supreme Lord.